Everybody talking about that cruise ship, like, oh my God, don't let them dock. We can't do another lockdown. We can't do another 2020. Baby, if you think that this administration is locking anything down, you are sorely mistaken. They will let us die. Let's be so absolutely clear. They're not locking anything down. No, they're not doing that again. They barely did it the first time. Let's be so clear. We was like the last people to close anything up. They are not doing that again. They are not doing that again. Yeah, they'll kill us. Let's be so fucking for real. Like there will be no lockdown, baby. We just gonna be outside. Us and the virus, like this, besties. Like what the fuck?
And I feel like Hantavirus is fake because I grew up with rats and roaches shitting under my bed and I'm just fine.
I will be securing the unemployment check this time around. My job search started today for a part-time job at Dillswick that were easily let go during the first couple months of COVID. I will be securing that unemployment check plus the additional. I might even start a small business. I don't know.
My family is poor, Emily. What do you mean if someone I knew was aboard a cruise ship? What? I'm eating rice and beans.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. So lately, the hantavirus outbreak has been causing a lot of buzz on the internet. A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are kind of investigating more deeply about it. The whole thing that started on a boat, got people thinking. I think ever since the COVID happened, people still hold those memories in their head, and situations like this, people hearing about this virus, they're like, oh my God. So it made people kind of some people are starting to mentally prepare just in case that they might be a lockdown or not, or just who knows, like preparing for the unexpected. So a lot of people are talking about this. Some people are making jokes about it, and some are preparing to, for things that they didn't do during the COVID because it was unexpected. So now they need to prepare better. But we're going to be checking out this video and see what people are saying about this. But before we get right into this video, please make sure you click the like button. It helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. Let's get right into this video.
Call me a cold-hearted bitch, but what is this?
I am currently on board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. A lot of uncertainty, and that's the hardest part. All we want right now is to feel safe, to have clarity, and to get home.
Here's the problem I'm having with this video. You can tell by his eyes that he's reading something that was prepared before he started making the video. He's reading it and speaking into the camera. Where the disconnect is that the emotions he's trying to convey is what I would expect from somebody being forced to read the ransom demands of a hostage taker who is holding them at gunpoint. It's actually quite simple and logical. When there is an illness aboard a ship, you quarantine the ship until the illness is gone. For the greater good. Period, end of story. Why the fuck are we crying?
From what I gathered, the first person that contracted the virus on this cruise ship did so unknowingly before he got on the cruise. And then about 10 days later, he croaked. His wife accompanied him because the body stayed on the cruise while they tried to, get him back to his home country. 2 weeks later, she croaks. The day after she croaks, somebody else is hospitalized, flown to Johannesburg. A week after that, somebody else dies. Now, they say this poses no threat to us, to the public, right? But the incubation period is 7 to 60 days, right? 7 to 60 days. And they say after they do some testing on 150 passengers from 23 different countries, they should be good. But then they docked in Spain, who also trades to everybody, who trades with everybody, imports, exports with everybody. So, like, how cooked are we, genuinely?
Hantavirus update. I'm going to do 1 to 2 of these each day. It is Thursday, May 7th. So the woman who passed away in the airport who was on the flight from St. Helena to Johannesburg actually tried getting on a flight from Johannesburg to Amsterdam and was apparently so sick that a flight attendant escorted her off the plane from the one that was going to go to Amsterdam. That flight attendant is now in the hospital with symptoms and super sick. So that's for everyone who is saying this isn't easily transmissible. That's what they told us about COVID at the beginning. I don't know if you were here in like December 2019. January 2020 before like it started really getting reported, but everyone was like, it doesn't transmit fast, don't worry about it, it will be fine. And look what happened. That's my biggest worry about this. Second thing, there is only technically one confirmed European case, and that's the Switzerland guy. The French guy, they're monitoring him and his symptoms, but they haven't confirmed that it's hantavirus or that he had contact with anyone on the plane. That's not confirmed at all by the French, just letting you all know. You know how I said there was apparently 23 people who got off the plane and, or not the plane, the boat, and were headed to their respective places around, 2 weeks ago? Well, it's now reportedly, apparently could be 40 people that were getting off the boat in St. Helena and going to their respective places. So there are respectively 7 people in the US that were on the ship who are now in the US who left, and each state is monitoring that. They haven't released information about those people, but they're apparently not showing any symptoms. And the boat is still on its way to the Canary Islands. It's going to dock at a remote port in Tenerife, or Tenerife, sorry if I pronounced that wrong. And the people who are asymptomatic are going to be let off and allowed to go to their home countries, as I said before. We don't know whether that's going to be with a medical escort, whether they're allowed to board commercial flights. We don't know any information about that. The reason we know it's 40 people is because someone on the boat contacted their news organization in Spain to let people know. The boat isn't reporting it, the WHO isn't reporting it, so I'm sure a bunch of news sources aren't reporting it. And I just want to keep you all informed. That's the reason I'm so worried, because they lied to us about COVID and like how bad it was, and then it wasn't contained and it got horrific, right? And that's what could happen with this. That's all for right now. If I get anything later today, I'll keep y'all updated, but not a great update.
I'm just saying, as a nurse, if there's another pandemic, I'm out this time. I'm not doing that again. All y'all that graduated after COVID, clock in, because it's your turn. I ain't doing it.
As someone who is studying infectious diseases for their master's, here is my professional opinion about the hantavirus outbreak on that ship. They need to blow it up. Like, not to be dramatic or anything, but they need to blow that shit up with everybody inside. Do not dock that boat. Do not dock that fucking boat. Oh my God.
I'm ready for this next pandemic. The last one, y'all called me, I was sleeping, I was on a game, I was musty, not no more. First thing I'm gonna do, get a 0 interest loan from the bank and buy every house I see. I'm buying everything I see. Houses in Dakota, houses in Minnesota. Give me a house in Oahu, right? Them 0 interest houses, mine. 0 interest loans, mine. After that, I might even have to call PPP boys. I know God might make an example out of me, so I'm probably not going to do that. But in general, I missed it the last time and ain't nobody getting in trouble. So I need to be ready, because y'all not going to catch me sleeping twice. I wasn't ready the first time. I was kind of lost. I was like 18. I was just on a game. I wasn't doing nothing. Oh, I'm buying airline tickets for the next year. Cheap as hell. I'm telling you, I'm buying everywhere. I'm going to be in Timbuktu. The next day, I'm going to be in Bali, Indonesia. I'm going to circle right back to Timbuktu. Next thing you know, I'm going to be in Yucatan. Like, I'm going to be everywhere, yo. I'm telling you, I got the method for this new pandemic if it drops. Because y'all caught me sleeping once, you will not catch me sleeping again.
Y'all, I knew this was familiar. I screenshotted this back on March 3rd, 2020. The Shade Room had posted it, my friend on her spam, screenshot and posted it. 2 confirmed cases of COVID in Georgia. When I seen the whole 2 confirmed cases in Georgia, I was like, why do I feel like I'm getting deja vu? I scroll, it's not deja vu, y'all. The same thing happened. What is it with Georgia and pandemics or these viruses. And literally they traveled from Italy. And we do not have the right administration, y'all. We didn't have the right administration last time because Trump was in there at first, and then I think Biden took I don't know. All I know is right now we do not have the correct administration for no freaking pandemic. For all I know, they're going to make everything open. They're going to keep everything open just so that everybody can catch it and die. And actually, I remember I screenshotted this because I was excited. I was going to show my family. I was going to be like, yay, y'all. Like, we can't go to school. Like, pull us out of school. And now I have this ancient artifact forever. Look at me, y'all. Look at me. Literally boots on the ground journalism. Literally.
I'm not gonna lie, call me crazy, but at least y'all calling. But I know with Cardi B, the moment the words Hantavirus comes out of her mouth, I'm locking up my house, because 6 years ago she said coronavirus is getting real, and it got real. I'm sorry, I can't.
The rat virus cases continue to rise, and there's been a dramatic medical evacuation at sea. Here's the latest on the Hantavirus outbreak. The cruise ship MV Hondias is anchored off the coast of Cape Verde. 2 seriously ill crew members, one of them the ship's doctor, as well as a close contact of another passenger who died, have been transferred to a small boat and brought ashore by medical teams in hazmat suits. Ambulances took them to waiting aircraft, specially equipped to keep them stable on the flight back to hospitals in the Netherlands. Just over 140 people remain on board, including this passenger from Jordan.
حسب ما فهمت إنه إحنا حالياً أكبر خبر في العالم. فالأمور إلى الآن تمام، كل الناس اللي في السفينة وضعهم تمام. وبس حبيت أطمنكم. ما صار إشي. المفروض يتم إخلاء المرضى اللي معنا في أقرب فرصة اللي هي لسه ما صارت، وبعدين شكلنا راح نتجه إلى دولة أخرى يمكن إسبانيا. خلينا نشوف.
The MV Hondias left Ushuaia in Argentina on April the 1st with 150 people on board. We know that on the 11th a Dutch passenger died at sea. The following day the ship's captain told other passengers.
One of our passengers sadly passed away last night. Tragic as it is, it was due to natural causes, we believe. I'm told by the doctor we're not infectious.
On the 25th, his wife flew with his body from the mid-Atlantic island of St. Helena to Johannesburg in South Africa. She became unwell during the flight and was admitted to hospital on arrival. She died a day later. The ship sailed on to Ascension Island, where on the 27th of April, a British man with respiratory symptoms disembarked and was flown to South Africa. He remains in a critical but stable condition. On the 2nd of May, a German national who had developed pneumonia and a fever died on the ship, which arrived in the archipelago of Cape Verde the next day with 2 crew showing symptoms. And Swiss authorities have said there is a new case, a man who had been a passenger on the ship and developed symptoms after returning on a flight from South America. He's in a Zurich hospital. His wife is also in quarantine as a precaution. Medical authorities say it seems to be a rare case of human-to-human spread of the Andes strain of the virus. The ship's owners have said it will sail for the Canary Islands, where regional authorities originally refused permission for it to dock, but that appears to have been overruled by the national Spanish government.
Se pondrá en marcha un mecanismo conjunto de evaluación sanitaria y de evacuación para repatriar a todos los miembros del pasaje. Salvo que la condición médica lo impida, todos los pasajeros extranjeros serán repatriados a través de un mecanismo europeo de protección civil.
Spanish nationals will be quarantined as a precaution, even if they have no symptoms, but other passengers will be allowed to return home on commercial flights. It's a mixed message on risk.
Now, but on a serious note, I'm really worried about the people that were exposed as those people who are now positive and at home, traveled home. Because think about it, those people, 23 people they disembarked like the 23rd, 24th. Several people found out they were positive when they got home. They had to travel home. Home is United States, Australia, Taiwan, Germany, Switzerland. You know what I'm saying? So initial planes, like say about 7 planes going different directions. Mind you, some people may be going to the same place, but not the same state, city, So you get on the plane, You're exposed to people you're on the plane with. You get off on your layover, you're exposed to people you're around on your layover. You have to walk through the airport. God forbid you bump against somebody, you sneeze in your arm, and you sneeze on that baby's forehead. And now you go to the bathroom because you have GI symptoms, right? Maybe you're puking, maybe you're having diarrhea. Then somebody comes in behind you, touch the door, and also sit on the seat you just got up off of. You walk all the way down to your layover. You exposing, maybe you sit down at the restaurant. Maybe you go to the store, the Hudson, swipe your card, and you touch not this water, but this one. But you accidentally brushed against this one after sneezing or wiping your nose. It's so crazy. Because those people got home and found out they were positive and exposed so many people not knowing, unknowingly. Not saying it's their fault, but how are we going to track this? That explains my last video where I said, be prepared for a global pandemic. And that don't even include the people they exposed when they got home. Their local airport, maybe they took an Uber. Of course, maybe family picked them up. Family, friends, co-workers, people at the store, people at the gym, people at the park, people at the DMV. People at the urgent care or the ER. Our freaking nurses. Us. It's traumatic. It's like we've never done this before, right? It's turning me up, All I gotta say is be prepared.
You see how they let those people get off the boat already? Not very demure. Not very mindful. You see how the last virus went. I lost a cousin. I lost an uncle. I lost my grandma. Not very cutesy. Not very demure. You see how we were on lockdown and I couldn't see my family for a year? Very scary. Very isolating. You remember when downtown Chicago, downtown New York, and downtown LA, there was 0 people outside? Very haunting. You see the severity of the situation? Very serious.
Y'all aren't freaking out enough for me. Because on this cruise ship in the middle of the Atlantic, there's about 150 people or so that could be infected with the Andes version of the Hantavirus. Or Hantavirus. I'm not really sure how you say it. I'm just winging it here. That's terrifying because y'all know how the bubonic plague, the Black Death started? It was basically the same thing. It was a ship of merchants that had made their way down the Silk Road, and then they ended up in the the Black Sea. Ended up there, they started catapulting dead bodies that were infected with the bubonic fucking plague over the walls in Crimea. It's early. Anyways, they started throwing them bodies over the wall, therefore it made its way into Europe. Now, mind you, this cruise ship ain't gonna do shit like that, but it's a boat. So I'm thinking history repeats itself, or at least it rhymes most of the time. Y'all aren't worried enough for me. Here's the other thing about this. The passengers on the boat, it will take at least 8 weeks to know if they were infected. So that means they can't just, get a screening, check your temperature, get off the boat, and you're cool, right? It takes up to 8 weeks. They're going to 23 different countries when they get off that boat. This strain of the hantavirus is called the Andes virus, the Andes strain. It's extremely contagious from human to human, right? They are exercising maximum physical distance, right? Staying in their rooms on this cruise ship. Can you imagine what would happen if they actually made it into a country? And honestly, they already have. They've already been taking the sick and the dead off of this cruise ship and taking them to like Johannesburg in South Africa and other places around the world to get treatment or to just get off the fucking boat so they don't infect any more people. You'll smell that? It's a quarantine coming. Get your knitting shit ready. I'm gonna bake bread this time. I've been wanting to bake some motherfucking bread. Look, I'm not trying to make light of the situation or like make jokes about it or anything because it is a serious situation. And I do feel for those people that are stuck on the boat because they have families waiting for them too. But I'm just saying.
I'm here to tell y'all if hantavirus happens, baby, get your house in order because the nurses are not coming to clock in. Bedside nursing is already hanging on by an actual thread and we're done. I'm not doing another pandemic with y'all. And I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of us would need more than 10K in order to go back to work and risk our lives again. I'm just saying. I can name about 10 places right now off the top of my head that I would rather work than go back to the bedside. It doesn't even matter how much they're paying. Count me out.
If you are panicking or worried about the hantavirus on the cruise ship, please do not, unless you're on the cruise ship, in which case a reasonable amount of concern is definitely warranted. Hantavirus is a virus, and it's generally spread by coming in contact with the secretions of rodents, so urine, feces, saliva, coming in contact with their nesting materials. Most common is going to be inhalation of those things, so you breathe them in. It's also possible to like ingest food contaminated with it, or like to touch something and then touch mouth, eyes, something like that. In the United States, it's generally the deer mouse, and it causes hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. There is a different syndrome that's a hemorrhagic fever and renal syndrome that's more common in like Asia and Europe. But generally, there's only one strain that would cause that here in the United States. Most of the time, it's not much person-to-person spread. It's just going to be contact with those secretions that are going to get people sick. But there is one strain of the hantavirus, the Andes, that does cause person-to-person spread, and unfortunately, that is the strain that has been isolated on the cruise ship. Like a lot of illnesses, it starts pretty not specific. So for the first 4 to 10 days, it's like fever, fatigue, muscle aches. You can have some headache, chills, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain. And then after the 4 to 10 days, you can develop more respiratory symptoms, cough, shortness of breath, chest tightness, difficulty breathing, and then it can progress from there. Hantavirus is really uncommon. There's obviously no vaccine for it. Antibiotics won't work because it is a viral infection. Antibiotics work on bacteria, so the treatment is generally going to be supportive. And unfortunately, the risk of not surviving hantavirus is pretty high. It's between 30 and 40% of the cases don't make it. I want to emphasize again how uncommon this illness is. Between 1993 and 2023, there were only 890 cases. And generally, it's rural environments, people that are in barns or outpost houses. Yosemite had an outbreak related to a double-walled tent and the rats getting inside and the excrement being blown around by fans on the inside. That was not good. Hantavirus is actually what took the life of Gene Hackman's wife, but he actually didn't die of hantavirus. It was a completely separate situation. In the United States, the deer mouse is the typical culprit when it comes to hantavirus. So if you have rodent activity in your home, shed, barn, outpost, whatever it is, especially if you're going to be doing something like cleaning, sweeping, where you're kicking all that dust up and breathing it in, make sure that you're wearing an N95 to protect yourself from hantavirus. Otherwise, if you're just living your life, hantavirus is really going to be a very, 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 very minimal public health risk. Everyone who's on the boat, I hope there are no more cases and that you're able to get home to your family safely very soon.
They saying we might have another shutdown, so let me just give you the do's and don'ts now. Number 1, stop eating. A lot of you blew the fuck up during COVID, and it's been 6 years. Put the burger down, put the tequila down, and choose happiness. Number 2, stop fucking. Them damn Rona babies, them mother was slow as fuck. Their favorite color was W. I can't take this shit no more. You, Henry, and Rona Jr. is more than enough. Number 3, gas is high as fuck, so if that bitch go down to $1, fill every damn thing up that can hold water. A bucket, a bowl, a bottle, whatever the fuck you can find, bitch, fill it up. Number 4, don't take them goddamn PPP loans. They rounding niggas up like immigration right now. They coming for you, Lil Duty, and the rest of the goddamn family, bitch. Don't take that damn loan. Number 5, find the camera and record every goddamn day of your life. Charlie Domingo and the rest of her family then turned into the damn Kardashians during COVID. Them bitches was every goddamn where, from damn drinks, bottles of water, TV commercials, a show, bitch. Just get on the camera and do something.
As you can see, some people are making jokes and memes about this, while some people are actually seriously worried. And some are thinking, maybe this whole thing is just like a script because everything seems to be happening just like it has happened before. The same, like, is this whole thing manufactured, As you know, some people are saying social media is exaggerating it. As you know, that's what social media does. Sometimes it exaggerates things and make them, go out of proportion. And sometimes it could actually not be an exaggeration. It could be a real worry, something to really worry about. I mean, it's not easy to hear different people's opinions all at once, because we have people who, one side will be telling you, oh my God, you need to pay attention, you all be careful, like we need to prepare for this, while the other side will be telling you, oh, you all panic about every single thing, like relax. While some are actually seeing it as an opportunity to get everything that they didn't get or should have got done during the pandemic. At the end of the day, I do feel like staying informed is smarter than panicking. And right now, this whole thing seems to be a very serious online discussion at the moment. It's a conversation that is gaining a lot of attention because everywhere you go, that's what people are talking about. I think people's reaction is actually based on the past experiences that we have had with COVID-19. So what do you guys think about this? Do you think people are overreacting? You've made it to the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching this video to the very end. Please don't forget to click the like button. Like I said, it helps with the algorithm and I appreciate that so much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new here and you're watching me for the very first time. Hit the notification bell to get notified every time I post a new video. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.